According to the Denver Broncos head coach Sean Payton, RJ Harvey is an important piece of what we're doing, quote unquote, and goes on to suggest that we have yet to see Harvey utilized like an important piece, but the rookie, or as the report suggests on NBC Sports, where this report I derived from, rookies require patience, and Sean Payton's essentially telling you that, as is every coach that is underutilizing their rookie running back right now. Deploy patience, time will come. It is crazy how much frantic, absolute people losing their minds type of panic there is out there. I understand it, but we're 2 weeks in, and RJ Harvey's being cut in tons of leagues, massive amounts of leagues. I'm getting DM after DM, screenshot after screenshot, email after email, text from buddies. Do I pick up RJ Harvey? Do I drop Darnell Mooney for RJ Harvey? Yes, you do. Do I know when Harvey gets his time to shine? I don't. I do know that Bucky Irving, there's a man named Bucky who didn't start until week 13 of 2024. So that's one example. Chase Brown, not saying all these are rookie situations, but Chase Brown did get his go until week 4. Gibbs didn't get his go until week number 7. And I'm not saying I want that for any of these running backs. I'm not saying that that's even Genty's course. I said on the way out the door on the 8 p.m. show that Genty still got a touchdown, still played very well. It wasn't what we wanted in week 1, but he did okay. And then week 2, he bombed, and now he sucks. Now he's not worth his weight. Oh my God, I can't believe people took Genty. We're 2 weeks into football. This one's going to take longer than Genty. Genty, I'm not worried about. Genty's getting volume. They're going to remedy that right away. Genty's going to get fed. Pete Carroll knows that's what everyone's thinking. He knows that's what he has to do. Genty will get fed. Not worried about Genty at all. I'm buying Genty low. I'm buying Harvey low. I'm buying Hampton low. I'm buying Hendy low. I'm buying them all low. But this is a player that might take some patience. But we're going to go after him. The Fantasy Football Show. Breaking news edition, late night, midnight edition, but also draft edition begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
If we could go back into time, and I don't have time to do this, but in sit in the moment of that Jahmyr Gibbs panic in week 1. Coming out of week 1, the Jahmyr Gibbs panic coming out of week 2, people bombarding the live chat like, Smitty, you ruined my life. Jahmyr Gibbs all the way up to week number 7. It was painful. I'm not going to lie. I remember the pain of saying to myself, I mean, when is Gibbs going to be used? Like, I wasn't wrong. Gibbs was that special. They didn't use him. It wasn't smart. It wasn't ramping him up smartly, and it worked out great. Like, they didn't use him. It was their fault. It was the coaching staff's fault not using Gibbs early. Bucky, I mean, it all worked out at the end of the day for Bucky, but Bucky could have been used more early on. And obviously, Chase Brown, they waited till Moss got out of the way, and then they decided, I mean, we can't sometimes control these coaches. It's just wild that we're sitting here with Genty, Hampton, Harvey, and all of them. I mean, Tootin and Scattaboo and JCM, like, these are like some of the top rookies. Genty's up there because he's been getting the volume, but it's wild that we're talking about all these other rookies ahead of these guys. The time will come. And as Peyton said in this quote here, Harvey is, quote, an important piece of what we're doing, end quote. And he's talked about him, gushed about him, made it very, very known that this is the lifeblood of the rushing attack, at some point. But, it just takes time. I think there was another quote here somewhere, important piece. Sean Payton Let me see if I can find another. I had another quote somewhere from Sean Payton, but Sean Payton can be all over the place. He's hard to trust. There's no doubt he's hard to trust with his comments, and it's hard to really know what to do. But I just think you're patient with Harvey. You can't start him right now. Not unless you're in a crazy deep league where you're like 3 flex plays, 3 starting wide receivers, or it's 16-team league, even 14-team leagues. You could start Harvey if you needed to, but it's certainly not an easy, easy water to ski through, or what's the right word? It's a tough road to sled through. Whatever. The storm that's in front of us is hard to get through in one piece. You've got to bundle up, Buttercups. Get ready. Hunker down. The storm's here. This is a storm. It doesn't feel good. We got to hope that the house is still standing when we get out of the storm shelter. But at some point, Harvey will be on the rise. And Hendy especially, Genty especially, ×2. Hampton, I still think there's no way this team drafts Hampton and doesn't use him. It just might be a couple weeks. It might be, it might not be. It's hard to say. I mean, Harbaugh is definitely the one type of player. Remember when Hampton didn't slide, he ran out of bounds. Everyone's like, oh no, they're not going to trust him again in 2-minute drills. And then they did. And Harbaugh said, oh, he's amazing. Hampton was amazing. He's a marvel out there. Legendary. Harbaugh, we're like, oh, Harbaugh's not going to punish this man for not sliding. And then he goes out and 3 straight goal line attempts. Hampton doesn't get it in. That would have been it. That's all we needed. If Hampton would have just punched in one of those 3 touchdowns, but 2 of those plays weren't his fault. He was swarmed. But all we needed was him to punch in one of those touchdowns, and we were golden. Hampton was on his way. And that's how close we teeter-totter on panic and no panic. Hampton, if he scored, no panic. Hampton, if he scored, didn't fumble, didn't have all the yards we want, but scored, didn't fumble, no panic. One fumble that was also, you could say until you're blue in the face, that was on Hampton. It was on both of them. And the error goes to the quarterback. Herbert was trying to give him the ball, and you could blame it on the coordination of Hampton if you want, but the quarterback's not supposed to let go of the ball until the ball is secure. So when it was getting handed in, it was bouncing around. You can say what you want. A lot of people that have an opinion on this, it's an opinion about how they should have got an extra point to win their contest or something. Very biased take on it. But I have a feeling that when Harbaugh rewatches it, it's not all on Hampton, that fumble. The problem is those 3 goal line stands that did not equate to a touchdown. That hurts. That sucks. Let's see here. Corum might get a bit more touches. Look, Corum's going to get 25. Look, first of all, things have been said like this before. I want to split this up and then Kyren doesn't come out of the game. That certainly could be in the cards as well. But even if Kyren's getting 65 to 70%, which is what this on the Kyren front real quickly, because I saw the comment, he's getting 65 to 70% per McVay. That is plenty. Anybody freaking out over Kyren right now because he's going to get 70% of the workload? That's what he should be getting anyway. And I want to hear this. Well, he's not efficient. You're repeating what you hear because that's what everybody says in the industry. Kyren's not explosive. He's not good enough if he doesn't get the volume. He's not. Give me a break. This guy has scored 12 plus touchdowns on the ground for 2 straight years. Don't blame that on volume. We just saw Hampton get 3 straight goal line attempts. He didn't punch even one of them in. And I still like Hampton. That's not a knock on Hampton. But stop acting like the opportunity is so overwhelming that's why Kyren's good. It's ridiculous. Kyren will be fine. Let the panic Peters panic. Go take advantage of Kyren via trade. And stop listening to the regurgitated Kyren's not explosive, ridiculous commentary. Absolute lunacy. Harvey, buy him low. See if he gets dropped. I'm gonna go into my league with my buddies that are they're NBA players and they don't really watch much. They don't watch as much football, and this is the league I've been eyeballing. I'm like, where's Harvey? Harvey's getting dropped in this league. I'm just eyeballing, waiting for him to get cut in this league. He's getting cut in the weirdest situations. Make sure that's not a full load drop if Harvey's there. It doesn't matter if it doesn't work out right now. Doesn't matter. If he's available, he's a full load drop. Drop all your fab. You wait on it. If it could be week 10. Doesn't matter.
Initiate full load.
Might not be in week 4. You know, people want to give up on him in week 3, week 4, week 5. You can't. You can't. All right, let me hit these super chats real quickly, and then we're going to open phone calls, get into some drafts and such. I appreciate you all. Scatterboo or Judkins rest of season. Probably Judkins rest of season, but this week's a tough sledding against the Green Bay Packers. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a tough week to use him. Josh Jacobs injured. Drop Kareem Hunt to get Jacobs cuff. I mean, you could. Jacobs is probably, it's a rest day more than anything. And it's a low ankle sprain. I'm not extremely worried about it yet. Not that we couldn't be later with some different news, but I'm not. There's a lot of panic going on right now, and I'm not sure that you should be all that worried. Would you trade Pollard for Hampton? I would. If I could wait on it. If I'm not really using Pollard, and Pollard is more of a rotational piece, I'm definitely taking that gamble. Neighbors and Chase Brown for Bijan and Pearsall and something. No. Neighbor, I mean, it depends on the something, but Neighbors and Chase Brown's a lot, bro. I like Bijan a ton. Well, that's tough. Chad, vote on that one. Neighbors and Chase Brown's a lot, bro. That's a lot. It depends on the something. Pearsall and Bijan, I don't know. If that, let's pretend it's not something, just to give Thomas a barometer here. What are we thinking here on Bijan and Pearsall versus Chase Brown and Neighbors? I think Chase Brown and Neighbors wins, but I guess it depends on the something, bro. Let's see what Neighbors, Chase Brown. Neighbors, Chase Brown. Yeah, so if you get something significant, like crazy significant, then maybe we're talking. Trade Scatterboo for Hampton. I'd rather have Hampton, but I do love both of them. I don't mind owning both of them, bro. They're fantastic players. Walker owner has Harvey. Trade Sharps for Harvey. If you don't need Sharps, and Sharps could be a league winner if he gets in there, just like we always, have known he can be, just because the balloon got deflated after we thought he rose up. Doesn't mean he doesn't have the top 5 to 10 running back capability. But I think if you're waiting on this anyway, waiting on Harvey's a smart play as well. It could go either way, my boy. It's not like it can't go either way. It's certainly close. 12-man PPR traded Brees for London. I like that. Starters, yeah. Trade moves. JCM's always a good trade piece or hold. It just depends. Garrett Wilson and JCM just to go get a little bit better wide receiver. You already have London, who would be one of the targets. Nico's a target. St. Brown's a target. JJ's a target if you could go after, doing something like that. Love that you got Lamb in London. Love Fannin. Love Garrett Wilson. Don't need to make a move, too. I mean, you just sit on this. Tootin might rise up, and then Tootin or Benson with Travis Hunter or with JCM later could be the move. I think in general, I'm holding that team, Jesse, because I like a lot of the squad, and I don't want you selling low on any of the starters. Still holding off on Bowers and Pickens for BTJ, Kelsey, and Harvey. Yeah, because Pickens and BTJ, you could argue, bro. So then what are you really doing? I mean, I love Harvey, but no. My wide receivers would be JSN, Rice, BTJ come week 7, and Bijan, JC, and Warren. I don't think I'm trading Bowers, Pickens is good, bro. If Pickens were not, involved, it'd be a different trade, But Pickens is super solid, bro. Super solid. I think a lot of people are discounting the value that Pickens has right now. The very solid wide receiver 2 value that Pickens has. $4.99, 12-team PPR, 1-1, Jaden Daniels, Jacobs, Javonte, CD, Nico, Garrett Wilson, Kittle. Judkins, like him. But if I could trade Judkins and JMO for a London right now on the cheap, I'm doing it. If I could trade Javonte and Judkins or Javonte and JMO to go get Achane or Chase Brown, I'm considering it. Genty for Javonte straight up, you try that. People are wild and crazy, bro. Trade Debo for Mason. I'd rather have Debo. I think you can get more for Debo. You think Burchard eventually takes over? He could. Burchard Smith should be already doing something, though, and he's not, so it's kind of confusing. Why is he not doing anything right now? I don't know. It's crazy that they haven't given him an opportunity right now when it's the best opportunity that they're going to have to feed him and test him out. It's weird. Working on a deal to send Ibuka and Pacheco for Brees and Jacoby. It's pretty even, man. Brees and Ibuka are pretty close if you need a running back. Like, running backs have a little bit more value at the end of the day, and I like Ibuka maybe a tad more, but it's pretty even. I don't mind this trade either way. I think I like Myers a little more than Pacheco, but it's not like that's the biggest part of the trade. It's pretty even. It could go either way. 0.5 start, 1 wide receiver, 1 running back, 1 flex, Debo, Bill, Hendy, Mason, and Ibuka. Well, I mean, you're not sitting Ibuka unless he's sitting, bro. So, Ibuka and Debo and probably Bill for right now. You know, Ibuka Dunze Bill is okay too. And if JD5 sits, I think you do maybe lean a Dunze over Debo. And Bill, Hendy, Mason. I suppose you could go Mason over Bill. Chat, Mason or Bill? Ibuka's a lock. Dunze is pretty damn safe. And so really it comes down to Bill or Mason, in my opinion. So chat, vote Bill or Mason. Mason, Bill, please. And need 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 2 flex. Pickens, Genti, Ibuka, Mason. Final answer. Thank you for the super chat. Drop Tesla and pick up Brashard Smith. I mean, if you need a running back and you're trying to just predict the future here with this, I don't mind it, but I think Tesla's got a little more value. I'd probably rather have Tesla. They're going to use it more and more and more. So get excited for that. We're gonna jump on Underdog. Play $5, get 50. Here's the link right here. Code Smitty gets it done. That link is pinned in the live chat already, but the link is fresh right here. We'll give you about 2 minutes to sign up. It takes a very, very short amount of time to hit that link. Code Smitty can also be entered manually if you download the Underdog app without using the link. The link's easy though. You know, be lazy and hit the link. It just inserts Code Smitty for you. But the link's in the description of every video if you're watching a replay. But play $5, get 50. We're going to jump onto Underdog in a second. So you have about 2 minutes to sign up. And if you don't sign up like in time or something, we'll do multiple drafts. So don't like get all panicked. We'll jump in and take care of that. So get ready for that. Let me open the phone lines briefly. No full team roster breakdowns, please.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
No full roster breakdowns. I don't have time to do that while we're drafting and managing all of this at the same time. So please keep your questions short and sweet, and I'll tackle as many as I can. I'll add you. Please mute yourself until I swing on over to you. So everybody on the phone line, please stay muted and not only stay muted, but please put your background noise down to a 0 if you could, and I'll be right with you. I appreciate you all. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the show, the channel. 465 of you on YouTube right now. Punch that thumb up button. Hit subscribe. And this is your new home. We're live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Live at midnight Eastern. Scott, please turn down the background noise and mute yourself. I'll be right with you. We're live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday, live whenever big news breaks. Please, everybody mute yourself and turn down background noise. I'll call upon you, but please stay muted. We're live at midnight Eastern, every single midnight. We're live whenever big news breaks, and I'm live at 8 p.m. Eastern every single Monday through Friday. So plenty of opportunity to smash the... All right, mute yourself. I'll be right with you. Just hit mute, please, and turn down any background noise. All right, so we're going to jump into Underdog right now. Open up the app. Please, everybody, stay muted. If I hear any noise, I'm hanging up on you. So if you don't stay muted, you're getting hung up on. Go into the Battle Royale, week number 3 on Underdog. That is on the first. So if you're on Originals tab, you'll see this carousel of options. That should be the second option. Go ahead and click the enter button right now. Jump in, and we'll get into a draft together. And there's only 6 people in each draft, so we'll do a couple of these. So don't fret if you get into a different draft. We'll all be able to get into one at some point if you just stay with me. We'll do at least 2 or 3 of these. So don't worry. All right. Let me swing over to the draft. I think I have... Oh, we got 2 more to join on this draft. So click that link in the description and jump in. And then this super chat here from Mano says, is my Evans and Walker for Jonathan Taylor too much? No. I think that will be fine. Both sides have some value. I mean, if Evans returns to form and Walker stays the starter all year, this could be a great trade for both of you, but you probably want to take that, especially if you have enough talent to carry you over at the other positions. Doesn't leave you with a vacancy that you can't fill or something like that. But overall, it's a good trade. All right, Travis, you're live, and then I'll swing around the phone line as fast as I can. So everybody, please stay muted. Phone lines are full, by the way. So if you try to call in, you're not going to get in. Go ahead, Travis.
Hey, I did a draft tonight actually. We just starting up a little late. I got Judkins in it, and it's my other running backs are Henry, Etienne, Tootin, Hendy, and Judkins. How badly would you want Sampson on that team too? Do you think I'll be okay without him?
I think you're all right.
Team 1 flex.
Yeah, I think you're all right, but I mean, it depends. Like, what player are we cutting? Phone lines are closed. 1-6. You keep dialing, you're not going to get in. The phone lines are closed. You got to dial in at the beginning there, pal.
I'd have to drop Keon Coleman. My wide receivers are London, JSN, Rice, Coleman, and Io Manor, who I'm probably going to drop for defense.
Yeah, I see it, Navage. I got it on screen here. Yeah, I don't know that I'm not worried about it.
Plays tomorrow. So. Okay, cool. Appreciate it.
Navage, I got it on screen here, bro. I see your message. Yeah, I don't know, Travis. I mean, Keon Coleman, it's so close. I would just say trust your guy.
I'll see what Coleman does tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best. See what he does. Because if he has 2 good games out of 3, I'm feeling a lot more better about the possible consistency problem that we feel like we're maybe looking at. Same thing with Green Bay. I mean, look at those wide receivers. It's just a rotation. And I think Golden will have his day, and then Golden won't, and then Golden will, and then Golden won't, and that's kind of the nature. Golden's getting cut everywhere, and I was an anti-draft Golden player, high, and even I'm telling you, scoop him up if he gets dropped. He's a great player to throw on your bench, and during bye weeks, et cetera, et cetera. Navage says also drop Sharps, Penix, Tootin, likely Coleman for a kicker. If you can't IR likely, which you likely can't. I guess I'm dropping Coleman. I don't know about your QB environment. If you can grab a QB at any point, then I guess you drop Penix. But if you're going to be like, okay, look at all these people that Burrow and Fields, and they're scrambling for trash. Don't drop Penix Jr. if that's going to put you in a bind later, even a bye week bind. There's no sense in doing that. So probably say drop Coleman, unfortunately for you. But I like Coleman a lot still. I'm not saying that another person in your league shouldn't go grab him. But that's definitely a tough call. And then Adam with the $10 hauler. Appreciate you, Adam. 1-on-1, 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, flex, Bucky, Mason, London, Higgins. Let's see here. London for Debo and Keenan. No, thank you. Pickens, Scattaboo, J-Mo, Harvey. Thanks, Smitty. So I'm trying to... Oh, I just timed out. Damn it. I'm Jalen Hurts. Son of a B. Bucky, Mason, London, Higgins, Igbuka, Diggs, Kraft, Tootin. What are you asking here? Split London for those 2? No, I don't like any of those. I like Keenan Allen a lot, but I'm not taking London and turning him into those 2 guys. Scattaboo, Pickens, no thank you. J-Mo, Harvey, not enough. Harvey should be bought for pennies on the dollar, not at that price tag. And then Lamar, Gibbs, Javonte Williams, bench Brees, Judkins, start Brees 2 flex over Higgins in the second flex over Higgins. Yeah. I mean, they're going to run the hell out of Brees Hall, bro. They're not going to make the mistake of not running the ball. Brees is a very, very solid play this week. T. Higgins, I'm not saying T. Higgins is trash, but with Burrow down, I don't know how much I'm confident in starting him over a guy like Brees. Hey, Smitty, 12-man dynasty question, 2-0, but got offered Puka for Travis Hunter, Pittman, 26 second and 27 second and a 28 first and third. You got to take Puka, bro. The trade value on Puka is enormous right now alone, but Puka's playing. If you can even have a chance to win, Puka's the answer. I like Travis Hunter a lot still. I just no way I'm passing up the opportunity of adding Puka, even just for the now value. All right, Travis, let me run over these other callers real quickly. Hold on.
Yep, no problem.
Adam, you're live as quickly as you can, Adam.
Yo, Smitty, what's up, bro?
What's up?
So, I got this offer. I was talking to the BTJ guy, and he 0-2, and I'm trying to get BTJ from him, and he said that he would take like Bill and Keenan Allen or Pickens. I made sure that I'm not like giving up on Pickens, especially after last week.
Yeah, so Bill and Keenan done. Bill and Keenan done.
Yeah.
Give me BTJ all day.
So I sent that to him, and I'm just waiting now, but he hasn't responded in a while, so probably won't be until tomorrow. But you feel good about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I love Bill. I love Keenan. I love BTJ. I like all these guys, but I'm taking the chance that BTJ is still the player that finished number 4 overall in fantasy football scoring last year. The guy that still was arguably at least top 6-7 NFL wide receiver material last year. He did not trip and fall into that. He didn't accidentally and shouldn't have been in that bucket of player and deliver that, and just, definitely loving the idea. BTJ, I'm buying.
One more thing.
All right, last thing, and I got to run.
Last thing. So on my other league, I got like a surplus at running backs. I got like Achane, GNT, Chase Brown. Now Mason is on there too. So like Charbonnet. So I don't know like really what you do, because I got 4 running backs. Can only start like 3,
Evan.
You know what I mean?
Evans is dirt cheap. BTJ, another league. BTJ Evans. Those wide receivers.
BTJ and is my wide receivers right
Mason
now.
for Ladd. Mason for Ladd if you need an even swap. But Evans is a great pickup.
And Dak, would you explore a QB trade?
Sorry, Dak and what? Dak and what?
I got Kyler
and Dak. I'd rather have Dak. I'll be okay with, but not. I mean, Mason at most for that swap. I'm not doing anything else. All right, got to roll, bro. Appreciate you. Okay, he's gonna go on and on, so I had to cut him off. I'm sorry, my boy. I'm sorry. Let's go over to Scared Scott. Scared Scott, what are you scared about today? Jump into one more draft, back out, and hit the button in 5. Go ahead, Scared Scott.
Just quick. I've got a couple of leagues where my flex positions coming down between Hendy and Judkins this week. Which one you lean?
I mean, Judkins does an
horrible
matchup.
But he does. But freaking, is Hendy going to touch the ball enough?
I don't know. I wish I had enough news to make that call right now. I don't. So I think I'm waiting until.
One thing I would say is I think it's not much, but he's going to get more than 5 touches, I think. I can't promise you, but it's hard to imagine unless he's in the doghouse or something.
Hey, Travis, can you look up what's Green Bay allowed? What's Green Bay
played really well?
What's Green Bay allowed in back-to-back games? What is the exact amount of yards for each rusher against Green Bay? If you could look that up real quick, Travis, so we know what Judkins is probably the average of those or the high of those or whatever. Start 2 league Hendy versus Hampton, and hold on one second, Scott. JCM versus Hendy. Hendy over, I don't know. We got to wait on this, Roman. I wish I could give you a for sure. You got to check back with me. But I would say right now I'm leaning Hendy over Hampton just right now until we find out that Harbaugh's fine. JCM over Hendy for right now. But that's a tough one. And then Guy tried to trade me his Genty for my Jonathan Taylor. I rejected it. I countered with Chase Brown and JT for Gibbs and Genty. I don't know. That's pretty. That could go either way, man. I mean, JT and Chase Brown is better than Gibbs and Genty right now. But that could change. You're just gonna have to. Right now, it's safer to have Chase Brown and Taylor. It just is. But it doesn't mean that isn't. It's pretty even if things go the way I believe they will go for Genty moving forward. But if you rejected it anyway, but you're certainly not doing that first one. All right, Scott, final question.
That was just it. I'm just seeing what your opinion is.
All right, yeah. Travis, did you have? What do you have on those?
Yeah, I got it right here. So last week, Javonte had. Wait, not Javonte.
Yeah. Let me say.
I got it right here. So they played Washington and Detroit.
Yeah. Gibbs. It was Gibbs, yeah.
Washington, Eckler 8 for 17, Daniel 7 for 17, crossing Merritt 4. So 19 for 51, 2.7 yards.
17 yards.
50. Hold on, Scott. 51 yards, you said, Travis?
Yeah, 2.7 yards per carry.
Okay, and then what was Gibbs? I know he scored in week 1, right? So yeah, I think he did. Yeah. So what was Gibbs' total? Didn't he get good receiving? No.
Yeah. So Gibbs and Mont, actually the whole team together was 22 for 46, 2.1 yards a carry. So they did nothing on the ground. Receiving, Gibbs was 10 for 31. So he was only. Yeah, so he only had.
It's hard to imagine Judkins outperforming both of these teams with the Browns probably being down. That game script is always hard to predict. Every time you say, "Oh, the Browns are playing from behind," it's always the opposite. So I don't know. But I just find the game script unlikely to give. But Judkins could pop off one run like he did last week. Judkins was bottled up pretty much all game, and he popped up that long, big run. So all it takes is, penalty at the 1 yard line, and Judkins punches in a touchdown. And then he has 30 yards, and all of a sudden he's got 9, 10, 11, 12, points. Anything can happen, but in Hendy, I don't know. I think we just got to wait, Scott. There's no way to really know. Right now.
Yeah. Glad you're confused with trying to separate those two as I am. It's a tough call.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, bro.
All right.
Yeah, and so just last thing on that is, I mean, Pittsburgh gave up 4 yards a carry last week, and then against the Jets, I think Brees had a good game. So it's been kind of mixed against the Steelers because that's who the Patriots are playing.
Yeah. All right, Joshua, you're live.
Hey, Smitty, how's it going?
What's up, pal?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you a few questions, or just one question, but it was just sort of general strategy when it comes to positioning in the league. So, I'm 2-0 right now. I have an embarrassment of riches, so, a ton of, let's just say, mid to, upper mid players, including my bench. Should I be trading that down into studs, or if I'm 2-0, should I just be holding tight, waiting for people to just have horrible situations and then take advantage?
Yeah, I mean it depends. I mean, if you're talking about your players who are just playing really well, and you think you've got what's your lineup? I'm not doing full team breakdowns, but real quickly, what's your lineup? Just read it off as fast as you can. Your lineup.
All good. I have Bucky, Kamara, Connor, and Chubb, and then I have Justin Jefferson, Zay Flowers, Calvin Ridley.
It's not really an embarrassment. I mean, your team's playing good, but that's not really an embarrassment of riches. I wouldn't say you're you got Gibbs and Bijan and JJ and who's on your bench who you're trying to get straight away?
Well, Calvin Ridley, Jalen Waddle, and Josh Connor.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's trading for those guys. I don't mean to belittle that. I'm just saying I don't think that's it.
No, you're good.
But I would say I'm going after Hendy, I'm going after Harvey, I'm going after Hampton, I'm going after Evans, I'm going after BTJ. I'm trying to couple those players, Ridley and the bench players for that. If you get that extra stud, go after Rice. The Rice owner is 0-2 probably. You get Rice using combination of all that, boom, you're in the money, bro. Then you have an embarrassment of riches potentially. But yeah,
Okay.
in general, I mean, it's case by case, man. I don't hard to say,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay, but like condensing is never really
Never-
a bad strategy.
Never bad, but some people condense in the wrong. It's a good question to ask. Some people condense at the wrong time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I was wondering if basically the situations in leagues get worse and worse over time, or just like
Everything's case by case, man. You know.
Fair
I
enough.
think
Cool.
if you
Thanks,
got
buddy.
if you also have a bunch of risers like Hampton and Harvey or Hendy and Harvey on the bench, and you know that those guys
Yeah.
are likely to get into the better spots, then you know sometimes you can consolidate in a risky way, you know, and say, well, you know, if I'm going after, you know, let's say you're trading for Henry right now, and there's always going to be a risk that Henry's going to have that time where he goes. And so that's a good play for you if you've got potentially support that's on the up and up.
Yeah, I feel like I have time, so it makes sense to maybe invest in some rookies. And
All right.
like Rices.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Cool. Thank you, man. All right, bye.
All right, real quick, guys. Let me get these super chats out of the way. We got a $20 hauler from my boy Tracy coming in strong. Hey, Smitty, this team is 2-0, 12-team half PPR, QB, JD5, May, Bijan, Kyren, Benson, Egbuka, Debo, Ridley, Franklin, Kraft. Any trades to make, good, buy low targets. Like the squad a lot. You're 2-0 for a reason. I don't think I'm moving anything that you have unless you're able to use. I like using Kraft. Look, Kraft is good, but Kraft is not going to do what he did in week 2 every week. And the recency bias goes both ways. It goes for negative stuff and positive stuff. And while I do like Kraft a lot, I also really like Fannin. And this is a good opportunity to sell Kraft, even though Kraft will be good all year. You're selling him at his highest point that will get you the most value. So it's not about not liking him. Understand what I'm saying? Ridley or Coleman or Debo or even Kyren with Kraft to upgrade something, whether it's going from Kyren to Achan or going from Kyren or going from Ridley to Evans or BTJ or like even Kraft straight up for BTJ, let's say. And then you're trading Ridley and Franklin or Ridley and something later. Definitely interested in getting players that are on the cheap right now. You know, Genty, but it'd have to be something significant. Like, don't settle for something that doesn't have the value right now, and you're buying it off of, you know, the previous, you know, before week 1 kicked off value. And should you trade my Debo for Zay Flowers? I think it could go either way. I think Debo could continue to ball out, and he's obviously like a top 10 wide receiver right now. And we know we saw that coming, so it's like we're not shocked or wanting to get rid of him. But I do think Zay Flowers is nice. But I think I lean toward Debo right now, but they're really, really close. Real quickly, I'm on the clock here, and then go Pickens there. All right, let me hit the phone line. Guys are gonna have to speed through it as fast as possible here. 224, you're live, as fast as you can go.
Oh, what's up, Smitty? What's up,
What's
Travis? Yeah, so I just wanted to know what you had on Chase Brown right now, just because I went back
Brown?
and looked at like Mixon from 2 years ago, put up like 18 points in that 10-week stretch with Browning, and I think you could do that again, but just that game when Burrow went down, it just didn't look right with Chase Brown. Every time you got the ball, it was garbage. It didn't look good.
Well, I think it's the same thing that when when anybody goes down and you don't have the game plan. Like, you're talking about Browning not on the same page and has the exact same, you know, preparedness to get Chase Brown and the ball and dump offs, and like it was just a shocking, you know, throw someone in, gotta, you know, it was. I think you're gonna see a game plan where the staff is running a lot through Chase Brown. And Chase Brown's the one player I'm not actually that worried about with Browning going down, whereas I think Chase gets a little hit, T. Higgins gets a pretty decent hit. Not saying they both can't be good, but I'm definitely feeling like Chase Brown, because Browning's efficient enough, it almost may benefit him in some ways, and then efficiency could be down because the whole offense isn't maybe as good. So there's like a give and a take, but I think Chase Brown is one of the better buy low running backs right now. Could definitely continue to ball.
And then I got offered. I saw that you just ranked wide receivers. You got Zay and BTJ right by each other. Obviously, I like BTJ more too, but yeah, I just got offered Zay Flowers for him. Hold down on that, or
Zay's safer. You know, if you want safety and you don't want any headaches at all, I'm fine with Zay. But keep in mind, Zay could be sporadic, and likely he's coming back. But I don't know that that's going to affect Zay too much, unless they were to stop running like 3 wide receiver sets, and now all of a sudden they're dial. I don't think they're going to dial anything back or do anything different. I think Zay's in great positioning that he never was in the past. He's running these formations and routes that he didn't really get a chance to dabble in until this year. So I'm really feeling differently about Flowers and his role. But I do think BTJ, in my opinion, I would take the gamble that the guy that was number 4 last year in fantasy football scoring and was still a top 6 NFL wide receiver didn't accidentally or get into that club he shouldn't have got into. I'm banking on
Flowers ends up getting top 25.
Well, that's what I said in the video that you watched. That you said you watched.
Yeah,
it is top. Going to be inside the top 20. I think he's going to be inside.
Well,
the
finish
20.
there at least, ROS.
Inside the top 20. Yeah, I think he will.
Okay.
I don't know if he'll be 12. BTJ was 4. So I'm going to take that gamble that BTJ's 9 or 10 or 12.
Right. Okay. All right. Last thing for you then. Chase Brown.
Chase Brown. Thank you, pal. All right. 813, you're live as quickly as you can, please.
Two quick trades I just made. First one is I got Marvin Harrison Jr. and I traded away Kraft and Tillman. 10-man PPR, and I've Fannin on the bench.
I mean, I'd rather you get a guy that I feel a little more confident in, but I don't mind this move. I think MHJ scored 8 touchdowns last year, scored a touchdown in week 1. His week 1 was not bad. We were actually celebrating MHJ scoring a touchdown, being utilized. We were excited about it. Like, okay, could have been more, but we like what we got. Standing ovations. And then 1 week has transpired since that week 1 solid day, and now he's trashed everybody. So I'm a little more optimistic, I think, than some people are on MHJ, but would I rather have BTJ? Would I rather have even Mike Evans? Yes. But do I think that this...
Well, I mean, yeah.
A decent move?
JC Horton week was kind of tough.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Cardinals are kind of tough, the way that they operate, but I do not mind this trade. I can't guarantee you that it's a great trade. I think it's understandable. It's a good move for an owner that needs a wide receiver. All right, the second trade?
Mm-hmm. And then, the second trade, I got Jonathan Taylor and traded away.
You got who? What?
Igbuka and J-Mo.
You got what?
I got JT and traded away Buka and J-Mo.
Yeah, it's fine. That's great.
Okay.
I mean, I love Buka, but that's great. Good trade.
Thank you, Smitty.
All right, later, bro. Appreciate you. All right, last phone caller, Terry. You're live. We're not opening the phone lines, guys. The phone lines are closed.
What's up? I just want to say I first guessed the whole Genty thing.
I can't hear a word you're saying, bro. What?
I first guessed the whole Genty situation.
The Genty situation? I still can't understand you.
Yeah.
What about it?
The Genty situation. I said I first guessed it.
You first guessed what?
That he'll struggle.
Well, we're 2 weeks in, and he scored a touchdown in week 1 and was fine. Walking out of week 1, no one's concerned. He had 1 bad week. So were you calling in to expect us to be like, oh my God, it's Terry? He did it. Oh my God, Terry, it's him, everyone. Terry, can I have your autograph? Terry, we're 2 weeks into football, and the man has a touchdown. Terry, we've been waiting for this. Terry, you've been dreaming of this moment. You probably didn't even sleep last night. You thought you were coming in here and getting a standing ovation, didn't you?
Got a Genty voodoo doll.
Hey, bro, relax. It's week 2. Bucky Irving was a league winner last year. Didn't even get a start until week 13. Let's relax a little bit, Terry.
Okay. I'll hold my horses.
All right. What else you got?
That's pretty much it.
That's all he's been thinking about all day.
No. I think that Tootin, man. I think he's a league winner. So
Yeah, of course
I appreciate that advice.
Yeah, damn straight, bro.
I'm not all doing McAloon. I give you a prop.
All right, you're in here to not just cause chaos. Okay, that's good. Good to hear.
Yeah.
Tootin to the moon. Tootin's gonna. Hopefully, Tootin's tooting all the way to the bank for you, because Tootin's. It looks like a rocket fired out of a cannon.
Yes,
Love him.
Yep.
All right, Terry.
Yep. All right, man. Y'all take it
Sleep,
easy.
bro. All right, later. Oh man. All right, guys. Phone line's closed. All right. Let me hit these super chats real quickly. I mean, Terry. Let's give Terry his props. He predicted him to struggle in week 2. Okay. What moves to make 1-1 PPR? Kyler, Henry, Genty, Brees, Chuba, JCM, Mixon, Garrett, Wilson, MHJ, Travis Hunter. Thank you for the $20 hauler, by the way. Appreciate you very much for that 20 wad, my boy.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Henry, Genty, Brees. Love the running backs. Chuba. Now, I assume you can start Chuba. But if you can't, like if you're sending Chuba or Brees to the bench, or you're like now you're thinking about benching Genty, whatever, you got to make a move. And MHJ or Hunter or Judy would be the move to upgrade using Chuba. Now, if you can start Chuba, I'm probably using JCM and MHJ to go get BTJ. Take the gamble. St. Brown, London, Nico. Throw in Judy. Look at the waiver wire. What tight ends are out there? Kyle Pitts get cut, then you throw Fannin in. Use that value. I mean, there's a lot of ways I would utilize that part of your team to upgrade the wide receiver spot to set right next to Garrett Wilson. And I don't trade Travis Hunter lightly because someone's gonna want you to throw him in, and I'd hate for you to throw him into a trade. Traded Bill for Rice. Fantastic move if you can weather it. I think Bill is going to be great, but I definitely love Rice. Dynasty, Superflex, 12-team, Rice, Kyren, Myers, or BTJ and a second. Rice, Kyren, Myers is not even close because in a Superflex dynasty, bro, Rice is better than BTJ in my opinion. I love Rice. So that's a home run. 5 PPR, 0.5 PPR, 12-team, Mahomes, JCM, Bucky, BTJ, Buka, Pickens, Coleman, Hendy. My bench is Benson. Okay. 1-on-1 record. Traded JSN for Rice. Look, the way I look at this is this could benefit you. It could. But the way I would look at this is there's money involved. There's money involved, and JSN's playing as good as you hope Rice plays, and you get him for 4 more weeks. So I would not have made this trade. Because I think if Rice returns, you're hoping for JSN production, and he's already doing it. So I'm not, and he's a fantastic long-term prospect as well. My AJB for Kyren, Williams, and Corum. Corum lurking. Corum's not lurking on anything, guys. He's in there as any running back. It's crazy to me. I think everyone's getting infected by this anti-Kyren culture that is out there in the fantasy industry that he's not explosive or good if he's not getting 95% of the workload. I don't understand. Anyway, my AJB for Kyren.
It's crazy because if a team has 400 carries, even if you only get 60% of the carries, that's 240 carries.
I don't understand.
So there's plenty of carries.
But Kyren, random Kyren. Go get Kyren. Thank you. But, I like both players. But would you trade Mason for Genty? If I like winning, I would, Eddie. I mean, what are we doing here? Oh, my God. Trade, bro, where you been for the last couple hours? Consuming something you shouldn't.
It's all the little blurbs out there that says Mason going to get huge work.
We love Mason. So we love it. And we love Mason. We love Mason. Mid-season monster Mason. We're Masonites. We're Masonites here. But Genty, what are we doing back there? Trade Coleman for Sutton. I'd rather have Sutton. I'd much rather have Sutton. I traded Debo for Garrett Wilson. I like Garrett Wilson a little bit more, I won't lie, especially with like the age of Debo. I mean, there's different factors, right? Hey, Smitty, have McBride and Warren need a running back. Yeah, Achane, McBride, Chase Brown, Genty. Try trading.
Kyren.
Yeah, Kyren. I mean, I like Warren quietly, like as much as McBride, but he is dealing with the injury, which I think he'll be okay. But it's a toe. We'll have to see how bad it is. But I think you'd probably want to keep McBride unless you're going for that slightly higher running back. But I don't mind keeping either one. But wouldn't be shocked if Warren was like no tight end too. Which package trade Tyreek and Diggs or Quentin Johnson? Pick which to trade between Diggs and Quentin Johnson for Tet and Debo. So Tyreek and Diggs if possible, but I'd do either. And then, or trade Tyreek for Tet and Ricky. I would do that trade too, but I'd do the first one first, and then the second one second, and then I would try and keep QJ, but I wouldn't worry about it to get it done. $10 hauler here from Cry. Appreciate you, 12 team. Offered London and K9 for Reek and AJB. I do that trade. Absolutely. And then I considered flipping K9 though, because it's still like people need to remember, man. Charbonnet still got more carries than Walker in week 2. Walker is just amazing with it. And some of it comes down to the right carries and you get the right work. But I mean, because Charbonnet's no bum. Like Charbonnet didn't do well, but he's no bum. Like part of that is those carries were perfectly aligned for big plays. But let's not pretend like Walker isn't risky, and let's not pretend that Walker isn't maybe league winning. But if you could trade into a Genty right now, you do it. Full PPR, 12-man QB, Baker, CMC, Brees. I'm 0-2. Should I sit tight or try and make some moves? If you're 0-2, bro, and I mean, you got some decent players, I am strongly looking to move CMC for a buy low Genty and wide receiver like London or Nico. Something to that degree, but it has to be massive. 100% okay with that trade. Anybody that tells you otherwise while you're 0-2 and need a move in order to stay alive is literally speaking about themselves and their ownership of Christian McCaffrey on their team, and they're just trying to be, you talk about my guy. Understand your situation calls for it. I own Kyren and Blake Corum is on waivers. Should I drop anyone for him? Yes, you should. Not Judkins. Get Judkins off this list, please. Probably say if you don't need Kyle Pitts right now, you drop Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts or Benson, but I'd prefer to keep the running back. And then this one from New Levels, 0.5, 12 team. My bench, Benson, okay. I traded JSN for Rice. Again, this is the same thing. I wouldn't do that because Rice is so cheap, bro. I'm not saying he's dirt cheap. Obviously, this guy wanted the world, and he kind of got it. Like JSN, you're going to be hoping that Rice performs at JSN's level when he comes back, and you get 4 weeks of JSN. I wouldn't have done it, especially one-on-one. I wouldn't have done it. I hope you didn't hear me say trade for Rice thinking this is what I meant, though. Not trading JSN is. I hope you mean JCM. I don't think you do though. I love Rice, bro, but this is not the trade. Rice would be like you trade Hendy for Rice because you just can't wait on Hendy anyway. So you just, or JCM and something, but no Pickens maybe even for Rice. Yeah, like that, but not JSN who's playing like a top 5 wide receiver right now. I would not have done that. I'm sorry. I'm just giving you the honest truth. But do I think that if you're 3-3 or 4, especially if you got 4 wins coming out of the 6-game suspension, that you're going to be just as good off? Yeah, you'll be fine. So it's all about making the playoffs. So if you make the playoffs, doesn't matter. Then Rice and JSN are kind of uneven playing field. And in a way, I kind of do like Rice a little bit more than JSN when he's back, because I think Mahomes is literally going to kick his feet up and just toss him the ball all day in a desk, a little swivel chair. He's going to hike Blue 32. He's going to be in a little swivel chair, and he's just going to throw it to Rice. Rice is going to take it. And so let me just reiterate. If you make the playoffs no matter what, it doesn't matter that you made the trade. If it was Dynasty, it'd be a little different, and even then it's kind of even, but JCM for Mason, it could go either way. They're both, midseason monster professionals. And I think that right now I'd rather have Mason this week, but we still get, JCM has left a bad taste in our mouth from week 2. Supposed to do well, didn't. So I think we all have it, even me. There's a little bias involved of like a little doubt, a little PTSD. But we got to remember that JCM has that twitch, that Lev Bell type.
I said earlier.
And it's like, maybe he ends up being miles. Maybe he's miles above Mason. It's hard to really know. I think, so what would you do, Travis? Keep JCM or go for Mason? Mason's got some passing game limits.
I think, like, right now, I like JCM on the season. If I have to start one of the two, I'm starting Mason this week. But I want JCM for the season.
And that's kind of what I just said earlier. Like, I Mason this week, but at the end of the day, I want JCM. But the PTSD involved makes me a little questionable. But then again, it's like, Aaron Jones is out till week 7. Maybe he doesn't ever come back. Maybe he's never the same. What if this offense can't move the football? They're certainly not going to throw a ton to Mason. He's not that good of a pass catcher, which kind of sucks to hear when you're like, wait a minute, there's some limitations to him. But he might get 12 touchdowns, and it won't matter if he doesn't catch a single pass. And he did catch a ball last week. There was a nice little snag. And he did buy a jugs machine at his house, and he's been working on the catching. So I don't know. But I'd say JCM on the year, Fane. I agree with Travis, and that's kind of what I was saying earlier. And then last super chat here, and then I'll ask Travis if he has anything else. And then we might get out of here a little early tonight, unless there's other super chats that come in. Dynasty, PPR, 1 QB, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 2 flex. Mahomes, Fields, Bucky, Mason, Swift, Hunt, Neighbors, Dunze, Pickens, okay, Hawkinson. I think I don't trust Swift, so I'm just going to move him. I get Mason's a little risky as your running back too. I get it. But maybe you're trading Swift for Hendy. Maybe you're trading Swift for Hampton. Maybe you're trading Swift for Harvey and Hunter. Maybe you're trading Swift for Evans. Maybe you're trading Swift and Worthy for Rice, and you're waiting on him. Maybe you're trading Swift and Worthy for BTJ or Evans. I think Swift is on the move for me. And Worthy, I like Worthy, but I don't know. I'm very entertained by trading him too. I like him, but I don't mind starting him. He's gonna have probably a baller day, as long as he plays. I like Worthy. I can see us coming in here and celebrating Worthy big time. So I'm not saying get rid of him for pennies on the dollar. I'm just saying I would rather have Rice. I would rather have BTJ, And then this one here, $20 hauler from Sathya. Appreciate you for dropping the $20 hauler.
Super chat.
Sorry if I didn't say the name right. Just traded my Kyren and Buka for Jettas and Hampton. God, can you imagine before the year started? I mean, we love Buka, but can you imagine being like JJ and Hampton? Like the way the values have turned. I still really believe in Hampton. I'm going to take the JJ and Hampton side, but it might not be right away. You just got to understand that. But Kyren and Buka, well, you know what? I don't know. Maybe I do want Kyren and Buka. Your running back room would be tootin'. You almost can't do this. But then again, it's like, or no, he'd be getting him. Okay.
It's a lot harder.
He'd be
a lot harder not knowing Buka's injury fully. I think he'll be okay.
This is confusing because you're saying Buka, so Hampton. Okay. So if you do this,
yeah, he did it. Okay.
Just traded, yeah, okay. Yeah, bro, we're clearly wavering, so don't worry about it. It's a fine trade on either side. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. We're literally wavering on it. So that doesn't, like, you could score the exact same amount of points. That's what I always tell people when they're like, did I make the right trade? It's like, bro, you may have you swapped out some pros for some other pros, and you swapped some cons, and At the end of the day, the team might score the exact same. I guess I would just trade my Kyren and Buka. I guess here's what I would say that's hopeful for you. Because my initial reaction was Jettas and Hampton. If Hampton works out, you crush the trade. If Hampton doesn't work out, you're maybe a slight bit behind. And you're just hoping Hampton eventually does work out, like, down the line. And I think he will. Like, there's no way they're drafting Hampton as high as they did and they're not going to use him. Come on. It just could take till week 10, week 5, week 6. We don't know. If it's week 10 or 11, you're going to take a little bit of a bath on this, but maybe you stay afloat if JJ balls out. So if Hampton ends up getting into the lineup by week 5, 6, you're going to make out like a bandit on this trade. Hoping one of the rookie running backs hits later. Yeah, you'll be fine, bro. Your team looks really, really good. I mean, Dak, Bucky, Hampton, Hendy, you're going to get something out of that running back room. Tootin might even pop before all of them. And Jettas and Jamar and Rashi Rice, bro, your team is phenomenal. Warren, love the team. It's like an 8.3 out of 10 right now, bro. Right now, right this second. We've got a $50 hauler from Diaz coming in strong. Diaz, thank you, pal. Diaz. Appreciate you. Superflex, 2QB, full PPR. Herbert and Penix, not bad. CMC, Kyren. Brees Hall, love the running backs. Judkins, man. Lamb, JSN, jeez. What do we pay? What do we drop on a super chat? I should be super chatting you on this team. Warren, Hawkinson, love the team, man. I'm okay with this team, but if you have to get rid of one who, if I had to make a move, you forced me to make a move, I would say, I don't even think Hawkinson has any value anymore. You know, he did. You could have traded like Hawkinson like a week ago with Monty, or if I had to trade anybody, it would probably be Judkins and
Hawkinson and DJ Moore are tough. Right?
Yeah. Hawkinson and Judkins to a tight end needy team that's going to see the value in Hawkinson potentially, and you're going and getting I mean, if you even think Hendy's better, you might think Judkins is better. BTJ, Evans, those are two go-tos for me. You throw that receiver in here. So, like, if you were to get Judkins and Hawkins and get BTJ or Evans, you throw that wide receiver in next to these two, it's game over. But if you force me to make another move, it would just be, what two elite players can you get for Christian McCaffrey? That's it. And if you can't get, and I'm talking like Genty and Nico, or even if you don't want to play with the Genty, situation right now, and you say, give me Achane or Chase Brown or Henry or something, and you get me an additional BTJ and Henry, like for CMC, like people do that. I mean, Henry's week 2, people are so reactive that if you force me to make a move, that's what I would do. But it'd have to be two elite studs. Again, the guy that said in the comments on like 2 streams ago was like, Smitty, thanks a lot for the bad advice. I traded CMC for 2 scrubs. Like, no one said to do that. I said, go get the world. I said, go get the world. You could get the world for CMC. But that's only, I mean, honestly, you have the type of team that you could just wait a few weeks and there'll be some other buy low opportunities that will just stick out like a sore thumb, bro. So that would be my advice. Somebody dropped Devontae Smith full PPR. Full load drop? I don't know about that, man. It's weird to say, but I don't think Devontae Smith, like, I like him a lot. I'm definitely trying to get him, but full load drop, I don't know. Travis, what are your thoughts on Devontae Smith full load drop? I mean, it's hard to say no to that, but it's also like, how do we?
I can't, because what if a Pat Bryant or a Franklin or Io Manor or something goes off this week and they're the number 1 receiver, or Judkins gets hurt and Sampson is out there to be a running back again. I mean, there's so many combinations. I wouldn't want to drop all my stats. I try to get him.
I try and get him. Yeah, I would try and get him, but yeah, I don't know. Chat, do you think that's a full load drop player? I don't think it is. I mean, I don't even think he's. Sometimes you're questioning whether you can start him. So I mean, how does that become a full load drop player? He accepted the trade from last night, Smitty. DeVar, I'm sorry. Congrats, but I'm sorry I don't remember what in the hell you're talking about. Like, there's no way I could. Smitty, remember that trade last night? Nope. You know how many things I read, bro? But let me know what it is. I'm curious. 12-man, 0.5, Daniel Jones, Purdy, Judkins, Sampson, Hendy, Aaron Jones, Mixon, D. Adams. Need a running back. Kraft is the best. I know it's people don't want me to say this. People get really mad. They're like, don't trade Kraft. But Kraft has so much trade value. Kraft and Judkins for Chase Brown can get done right now. H-Han, Genty. Those are the players that I'm trying to get right now using Kraft. Kraft straight up for Chuba. I've seen that 2 or 3 times. Chuba Hubbard's a great player to trade Kraft for. Love that.
So I found his trade from his super chat last night. The bar was trade Swift and McLaurin for Neighbors and Chubb.
You find that? How'd you find that so quick? Wait, first of all, how'd you find that so quick?
My job as a mod. I went and found his chat from last night.
Yeah, but how'd you find that through like a 3-hour show or a 2-hour show?
No, the log that we can see.
Oh, okay. And what was the trade?
Trade Swift and McLaurin for Neighbors and Chubb. No brainer.
Lauren for Neighbors and Chubb. Oh yeah.
I'm assuming that's what he means. That was a super chat. I didn't comb through all of it.
Let us know if that was it. Jonathan, JD5, Genty, Hampton, K. Walker, Debo, Amon Ra, TJ, Monty, Worthy, Rice, Worthy. Everyone writes Worthy twice. It's weird. They write Worthy, Rice, Worthy, or B-Rob Shaheed. Last place needs a tight end, and waivers are dry. I'm trying to upgrade Hampton if I can. I love trading for him, but I also love upgrading him if you've got him. So you're saying you trade one of your tight ends. Who are your tight ends? You've got last place needs a tight end, and you've got Fannin and TJ Hawkinson. I assume that's what TJ Hawkinson. So Hawkinson and Monty, Hawkinson and Hampton, Hawkinson and Worthy. Any one of those, moves to upgrade. So Hawkinson and Worthy for BTJ, Nico, etc. Hawkinson and Monty for Chuba. Hawkinson and Kenneth Walker for Chase Brown or Genty. Hawkinson and Worthy for BTJ. For Nico. Hawkinson and Monty and Hawkinson and Debo for Nico. For St. Brown. Would you rather have BTJ or Debo? Because Hawkinson I don't care about. You throw him in to get it done. Like, is it crazy to still think BTJ?
I don't think it's crazy, no.
I don't, like this right here from Arnold. He says BTJ a bust. It happens in fantasy. He scored a touchdown in week 1. He was not a bust in week 1. He's only had one bad week. One, Arnold, one. If it was week 6, I could understand, but he scored a touchdown in week 1, Arnold. I don't understand.
So I'm sorry, I was wrong. 12 targets last week. I mean, he didn't get double digits. They're not going to keep throwing to De'Ami Brown over BTJ. They have to.
Last place team last week forgot to pivot from Kittle. They're freaking out now, putting CeeDee Lamb, JT, Chase Brown, and McLaurin on the block. Help me fleece. Okay, well then we're not getting rid of Hawkinson. Well, you can still try. Try to do everything I just said though. Last place team putting. Okay. So, okay. I mean, I'm trading whichever tight end gets it done. Honestly, whatever tight end gets it done, Debo for CD. Whatever tight end gets it done with Kenneth Walker and Monty for JT. Whatever tight end gets it done with Kenneth Walker to get Chase Brown. I mean, there it is.
Would you do Walker for Chase Brown straight up?
I would, but I'd throw Hawkinson in. This guy's the reason this guy's trading is because of the tight end need. So do it. Boom. All those, Jonathan, are home runs. You're fleecing. You want to be a fleece expert? There you go. There you go. On your way to ending a friendship. JCM and Buka Golden or Genty Evans. Genty Evans by a lot. Because there is a world where Evans is as good. As much as I'm a Buka fan, there is a world where Evans outscores Buka or scores just as much or scores just a little bit under Buka. And then you get Genty. Easy. Hawkinson for Pollard, I guess. I don't know. Not really. I mean, you're both making your teams worse. I don't know. Pollard probably by a hair. I don't think Hawkinson's okay. There was a route Hawkinson ran that was so awful. They were playing it all over Twitter. It was getting blasted where there was no one around him. There's no one around him. There's not a single soul in sight. And he goes the other one. I'm like, he didn't wasted energy. There's not a single person near him by 10 yards. And he goes, and he cuts and just wastes all this energy to go left. I truly don't understand what in the hell's going on with Hawkinson, and I don't trust him at all. It was the worst display of being unaware I've ever seen in my life. He made like 7 or 8 and then went left, and there was not a single person guarding him. It was 10-man PPR redraft, 1 QB. H.N. Genty, Bucky. I like the team a lot. Dak, Chase, Brown, H.N. Genty's fantastic. Buka, BTJ, Worthy, Rice, love it. Bowers, love it. Fannin, Worthy for Nico. Fannin, Worthy, I'm not saying you get it, but Fannin, Worthy, Mason for something. Worthy, Mason for something. You already got BTJ, so you can't really do that, but like Worthy for Evans. Fannin, Mason for Evans. Here's some buy lows on this list from the earlier show. Rice. Didn't you have Rice already? You have Rice already. Damn. I mean, your team's good. There's maybe Kyler. Upgrade Kyler. No, you got Dak. Upgrade Dak to Mahomes. Using Mason, Fannin. I don't think I trade Bowers in this situation. Pierce, I'll throw him in. Chase Brown up into Gibbs using Worthy and Mason. He's just throwing out offers. Upgrade Worthy, Mason, and I mean, you could go like Buka and Mason and Fannin for Lamb. Go to the Walker owner, see what Sharps can get you by throwing Worthy in. Is there a receiver slightly above? Can you get Nico, et cetera, et cetera? Ricky, those are that's a gauntlet of ideas. All right, Travis, anything else?
Was it Devin or DeVar? He actually had to give up Walker too. So it was Walker, Swift, and McLaurin for Neighbors and Chubb.
Walker, Swift, McLaurin for Neighbors and Chubb. I don't care about Chubb much, but yeah, I mean, you look throwing Walker, like you said, you pulled that trade off as if it was the same. It definitely changes putting Walker in it for sure. Like it's not the same. Hey, Smitty, remember the trade we talked about? It's a different deal, but I do think maybe he came back to us and I said yes to this is maybe what I'm thinking. And I still do it. I think this is a good trade. Yeah. And if you could get Marks, you're kind of protecting yourself into an RB3 flex RB, maybe eventually if Marks gets in there and balls out a running back too. So I like this trade. I'm guessing that's what he did is he said, what about this? And it wasn't in the super chat and then we're like, yeah. And then he pulled that off and that's what he means. But yeah, good trade. Good trade.
Can I just hit you with a few like real rapid fire questions? Sure. I'll jump off the line.
Sure.
You want Rice or MHJ?
Rice. Look, you might be wasting your time with MHJ for 4 weeks anyway. Take Rice, top 5 wide receiver. once this waiting game is over, boom, Rice to the moon.
All right. How about someone traded McBride for Roma Dunze? How do you feel about that?
McBride for a Dunze. I think the McBride owner could have got more. I think a Dunze. It's hard writing a Dunze while you're talking. A Dunze. I think a Dunze could be just as good. His value's going up, but the market value, it feels like he's selling too quickly on McBride. But like, this is kind of one of those deals where I'd expect him to get like a Hampton right now. I got Hampton through and Dunze, do it. Or I got a Dunze and Kraft, or I got a Dunze and at least Fannin, and that's even like, I don't know, a Dunze and Harvey.
Right.
The fact that you did this 1-for-1 makes me feel like you left some on the table is all I'm trying to say. Not that it can't work out.
All right. And then just last couple. Lamb, which side do you like? Lamb or Jamar Chase and Tootin?
I love Tootin. This obviously is going to depend on what happens with that situation. Right now, I'm going to say Lamb because we don't have any sort of certainty on this. I think once this... And I don't want to say if, I'm going to say once, because I do believe Tootin's starting at some point. I know that ETN owners don't want to hear that. And ETN could still survive this. But I do think Tootin is going to start at some point. Once that happens, then this is going to be a tough thing to say doesn't help outscore this if you're using this. But right now, I'm going to take the Lamb side because I don't trust the quarterback situation as much right now, and it moves Lamb ahead.
All right, and then last one, would you trade Sharps if you could get Hampton? Or what are you thinking there?
Yeah, I'd take the gamble on Hampton. He's gonna resurface.
Okay. Oh, and the last one, sorry. Chris Rodriguez on Washington. If you have JCM, how badly do you want him? Or are you just cuffing him if you have space?
If I have space, will not be going out of my way. But there is a world when I close my eyes and imagine we come out of week 3 and we're like, what in the hell are they doing? So,
right.
I mean, part of me is like, just for like a week or two, I'd love to see.
Right.
But past that, I don't know that there's a long-term value there. But I mean, man, I don't know. The way that the season's going so far, I'm a little more cautiously walking through a situation like that versus blowing through it and going, don't worry about it. Like, because I'm not the one making the call. If I was making the call, yeah.
Yeah. One other thing. I see a lot of this. Like right now, Raul in the chat says, someone wants to trade me Kittle for ETN. I see a lot of people asking, should I go get Kittle for like really good starters right now? And you're not doing that.
No, because he's out a while. I'd be okay acquiring Kittle, but it'd have to be like for Fannin and Hawkinson with like an extra Keenan Allen or something where you're like, okay, I got Keenan Allen off waivers. Smitty, should I flip him? But you talk about ETN and, or even like Mason. You got Mason, you're not using him. You got JCM and you're not using him. Trade those guys for Kittle. And, and then this one right here, would you trade Jaylen Warren for DK? I would take DK. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Last one, I promise. Zay or Rice? Yeah, I know.
Zay or Rice?
Zay or Rice, yeah.
I mean, I guess it depends on like what's the record. If the person's 0-3 after they're 0-2, or probably facing 0-3 if they make this trade if they have the side of Rice, then it's like what happens when you get in your 1-5 and you get to the point where you can use Rice? Are you even in the mix anymore? So I'd say that you almost have to keep Zay, who's very safe, top 15-ish wide receiver in my opinion, 15 to 18 easy right now. That's a safe play. If we were a couple weeks away from Rice, I would say Rice. But if you can put like a Keenan Allen into your lineup instead of Rice right now, then Rice all day.
Point. Yeah.
Case dependent.
Okay. Awesome.
All right, Travis. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate it.
All right,
later. Bye.
All right. Guys, I thank you. Appreciate you. Video should drop at 7:30 a.m. Eastern, 4:30 Pacific time, like usual. And I might be the running back ranking video. I know you guys enjoyed that today for the wide receivers, so look for that. Appreciate you. You guys absolutely rock. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. Additionally, live whenever big news breaks, and live at midnight Eastern every single night practically. Thank you all. Appreciate you all.